Vrajaya Bhakta Vinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tad Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sanyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gauragaye Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Granthera Arambha Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Vighana Vinashana Anayasa Safal Nija Vanchita Purana Jaya Jaya Kripa Moye Jagatirana Sarva Jagatira Kuru Shubha Drishtipat Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear worshipable devotees, for joining. We are reading Caritamrta, Adi-lila. At chapter 4, the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. And we read till text number 16. We were discussing about the Lord's transcendental greed in the article by his Gaur Govind Maharaj. So we read till text number 16, and we were talking about the greed of the Lord, the transcendental greed of the Supreme Lord. So mainly to experience the joy, the happiness, the love, the bhava of Srimati Radharani, the topmost devotee. What joy a devotee experiences by seeing or by being in the presence of the Lord, that only a devotee can understand, like Radharani. So the Lord wanted to experience that. So let's continue with our next verses. So we'll do the text number 17 onwards. Adi-lila, chapter 4. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so the internal reasons. This is the chapter entitled Internal Reasons. Aishwarya Jnane Te Sabha Jagata Mishrita Aishwarya Sthit Sethila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. Hare Krishna. So we have discussed this point again and again, that the Lord is more pleased and that rasa is higher. That rasa is higher when someone considers Lord as a friend, rather than considering, oh Lord, you are great, I am fallen, you are great, you are Vibhu, you are my master, protector, this. So rather than when someone is having fun with the Lord, climbing on his back and saying, hey, we won't allow you to play with us because you are cheating, that's a higher rasa, which the Lord even relishes. So love weakened by the sense of merit does not satisfy me. And there's a famous verse in Hindi. They say that the big verses, prayers of the devatas, Brahma, etc., does not satisfy the Lord, which the slang or the local Vrajabhasha of the Vrajavasis, which even it is a gali, if it is in like a harsh word, that Lord is Makhan chor. Calling a chore is or a thief is not a very sophisticated prayer, but the Lord likes that. The Lord likes to dance in the tunes of his devotees when they tie his shikha, make him wear the clothes of a gopi, and make him dance on their tunes. That pleases the Lord more, to become a servant of his devotees. So okay.
So, Prabhu, my question is, in the Bhagavatam, the topmost Purana, there we see that all the devotees, like Gajendra story or everything, they are praising the Lord as a Lord, right? So, this is, we are trying to be digest Bhagavatam, but they are the mostly we see that they're praying as the Lord as a supreme personality all the time, again and again.
Correct. And we should. It's not that we have to imitate the Vrajavasis, imitate that and forget all these prayers of Bhagavatam. So we don't have to imitate those moods or that higher taste, but we have to understand that what pleases the Lord more. And of course, our goal is that Vrajapema, that spontaneous bhakti. But we cannot artificially imitate that. When we follow the advice of Bhagavatam and the footsteps of great devotees, one will get there. But we cannot artificially imitate that state, that I will also start, imitating like the gopis, or calling the Lord like a gopis used to do. That is not the, we have to, chant the prayer. Prabhupada recommended all these prayers, Brahma Samhita, and Gajendra Stuti, Kunti Stuti, etc., Prahlad Stuti. So yes, we must do those. They're very, very pleasing to the Lord. It's not that they're not, Lord is not pleased. We read in the prayers of Kunti Maharani, the Lord is very pleased. We read in the prayers of Gajendra, the Lord is very pleased. But here we are talking Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, therefore is one step even higher. We're talking about the topmost, like a higher taste, or the highest mellows or rasa. So certainly we have to read and chant those prayers and from the heart, but we have to also understand that we develop a loving relationship with the Lord. Because ultimately, what is the prayer? A prayer is a call to the Lord. That Lord, you are my master, my protector. So we cannot artificially imitate. Yes, we have to follow the Radha Krishna worship, and Prabhupada gives in the mood of awe and reverence. So yes, Nandini Mataji wanted to say something. Prabhu, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I wanted to say I can read the next one. That's all. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Please, Mataji. Yes, you can read the next one.
Dandavat Pranam. Amare Ishvara mane apana ke hina tara preme vasha ami nahi nahai adhina. Translation by His Divine Grace S.A. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. So I guess it will be clarified soon that Krishna, if I'm not wrong, Prabhu, that Krishna thinks that if somebody says I'm your servant, then Krishna is not very pleased, but maybe servant of his servant, then Krishna is very pleased. Please correct if I'm wrong. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, if one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as subordinate, that means, oh my Lord, you are the topmost, the master, the greatest, and I'm your servant. I do not become subservient to his love, nor it can control me. So basically the Lord, again, going back to the previous verse, the Lord here is liking more the taste of to become subservient to his devotee, in which we see in multiple examples, the examples of gopis making Krishna dance. They were not thinking the Lord as the supreme Lord, giving the dust of their lotus feet when Krishna got headache. They were not thinking the Lord to be as the supreme master, protector, God, Vishnu, etc. So that the Lord is saying that this is the highest. Lord Krishna thought. So these are going in his heart. So, but that does not mean that we, as again going back, we cannot artificially imitate that, but we are just trying to understand the mind of the Lord. So that he likes actually to be controlled by his devotee. He doesn't like to control his devotees. He wants to become the servant, and that's why he had that desire. And this is what we are trying to read. This is very, very esoteric actually. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling the mind of the Lord, the thought, what's going on in his mind, and why he wants to come. It's a very confident, therefore it's very confidential. The chapter is entitled The Confidential Reasons of the Lord's Appearance. So these are not just bahya, these are very, very guhya or antaranga karana. So let's continue. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavad Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text 19. Amake tojye je bhakta boje jei bhabe tare she bhabe boji e mor shabhabe. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior. Purport. The Lord, by his inherent nature, reveals himself before his devotees according to their inherent devotional service. The Vrindavan pastimes demonstrated that although generally people worship God with reverence, the Lord is more pleased when a devotee thinks of him as his pet son, personal friend, or most dear fiancé, and renders service unto him with such natural affection. The Lord becomes a subordinate object of love in such transcendental relationships. Such pure love of Godhead is unadulterated by any tinge of superfluous non-devotional desires and is not mixed with any sort of fruitive action or empiric philosophical speculation. It is pure and natural love of Godhead, spontaneously aroused in the absolute stage. The devotional service is executed in a favorable atmosphere, free from material affection. So, in Gita also Krishna said, "Je jathamang prapam dante tangsama bhajam ham." So, the relationship we want to establish with the Lord, the same way the Lord will reciprocate us. But Lord loves to that as a devotee we love him rather than respect him with awe and reverence. So he wants to be our friend, wants to be our children like Mother Yashoda. He wants to be our brother, or any close relationship. So that's why Gauranga Mahāprabhu came to test that type of relationship. So back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So very nicely you mentioned that this verse, and very similar verse, Bhagavad Gita 4.11, which we will study tomorrow. Because we last time we studied till text 10, so we'll start with actually that verse tomorrow. So we'll discuss that in more detail in our Bhagavad Gita class also. Okay, so let's study text 20. Yes, Umesh Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam to everyone. Text 20. Yathamam prapadyante tam tatasva bhajami mamavarta manuvartante manushya partha sarvashah. Translation and purport is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In whatever way my devotee surrenders unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Pratha. Purport. In the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna affirms that firmly some 120 million years before the battle of Kurukshetra, he explained the mystic philosophy of the Gita to the Sun God. The message was received through the chain of disciplic succession. But in the course of time, the chain being broken somehow or other, Lord Sri Krishna appeared again and taught Arjuna the truth of Bhagavad Gita. At that time, the Lord spoke this verse, Bhagavad Gita 4.11, to his friend Arjuna. So there you go, Prabhu. You just say that you're going to explain more tomorrow about this. So in whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So basically, it tells me at least that the control is with us. You can do it. You can change it yourself. And it's the level of your devotion and sincereness probably that will dictate how good you are devotee, and that accordingly Lord Krishna will probably the reward. So it's basically the risk versus reward. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So here we see, in multiple verses of Caitanya-Caritāmṛta are from Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and the Holy Scriptures. So very, very important point that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is quoting these bona fide Holy Scriptures multiple times. So if we think Lord is a stone, then Lord will be a stone. The famous example in Radharaman, the Lord, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami wanted the Lord I want to have a desire to decorate you. They have been given these dresses and ornaments. The Lord, I am just having this deep desire to decorate you with these ornaments, these jewels, these dresses. Okay, my devotee has this desire. The Shaligram Shila became into a self-manifested deity of Radharaman. Right? Yetamam prapadyante tamsate bachamyam. Shri Tota Gopinath deity. What was his name? Who was worshipping Tota Gopinath? Thank you. Gadadhar Pandit at his old age was so old he could not even properly get up and put the flower garland around the Lord. The Lord said, my devotee is having difficulty, but he really, really wants me to garland me. I will sit down for my devotee. Yetamam prapadyante tamsate bachamyam. One time a person was offering incense, but he did not have that love and devotion. He was just thinking the Lord, I don't know what is he doing. And he got frustrated, his desires were not getting fulfilled. And one time he got frustrated and took some cotton ball and put in the nose of that, the deity. And at that time, the deity, the Lord manifested. He said, well, why did you manifest today? Today I actually disrespected you, or he said, the Lord said that actually today you thought me of as a person. Earlier you were just thinking me as like a dead piece of metal. So today you considered me, I'm a person. I also take the fragrance of the incense. Today you thought me as a person. Again, we don't have to imitate it. The point is, so many stories, Sakshi Gopal deity story, and so many other stories are there which tell the same point, that as we approach, the Lord will reciprocate accordingly. And same is with the spiritual master also, and pretty much for anyone actually. If we approach spiritual master with genuine questions, with genuine eagerness for spiritual quest, the Guru will reciprocate accordingly. If we just approach the Guru with Hari Bol, how are you? Good? Okay, I'm good. You're good. Hari Bol. Bye. Then the Guru will reciprocate accordingly. So, reciprocal, Krishna reciprocates in short. to the degree of our sincerity, to the degree how we approach. It's a very important point. Any other comments and additions here? Okay. Yes, Prabhu, want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 21 and 22. Moro putra moro shakha, moro pranopati, ei bhabe jei more, kore shuddha bhakti. Apanake boro mane, amare samohino, sei bhabe hoi ami, taharo odhino. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Purport. In the Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, three kinds of devotional service are described, namely bhakti, ordinary devotional service, suddha bhakti, pure devotional service, and viddha bhakti, mixed devotional service. When devotional service is executed with some material purpose, involving fruitive activities, mental speculations, or mystic yoga, it is called mixed or adulterated devotional service. Besides Bhakti Yoga, the Bhagavad Gita also describes Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. Yoga means linking with the Supreme Lord, which is possible only through devotion. Fruitive activities ending in devotional service. Philosophical speculation ending in devotional service. And practice of mysticism ending in devotional service are known respectively as Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. But such devotional service is adulterated by the three kinds of material activities. For those grossly engaged in identifying the body as the self, pious activity or karma yoga is recommended. For those who identify the mind with the self, philosophical speculation or jnana yoga is recommended. But devotees standing on the spiritual platform have no need of such material conceptions of adulterated devotion. Adulterated devotional service does not directly aim for love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, service performed strictly in conformity with the revealed scripture is better than such viddha bhakti, because it is free from all kinds of material contamination. It is executed in Krishna consciousness solely to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are spontaneously devoted to the Lord and have no aims for material gain are called attracted devotees. They are spontaneously attracted to the service of the Lord, and they follow in the footsteps of self-realized souls. Their pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti, manifested from pure love of Godhead, surpasses the regulative principles of the authoritative scriptures. Sometimes loving ecstasy transcends regulative principles. Such ecstasy, however, is completely on the spiritual platform and cannot be imitated. The regulative principles help ordinary devotees rise to the stage of perfect love of Godhead. Pure love for Krishna is the perfection of pure devotion. And pure devotional service is identical with spontaneous devotional service. Flawless execution of regulative principles is exhibited in Vaikuntha planets. By strictly executing these principles, one can be elevated to the Vaikuntha planets. But spontaneous pure loving service is found in Krishnaloka alone. Hare Krishna. So this purport Srila Prabhupada gives so many informations. First, he categorized the bhakti. He mentioned that pure devotional bhakti service, which is Shuddha Bhakti, and then ordinary devotional service. And then he also mentioned viddha Bhakti, which is mixed. And then he mentioned how this mixed is when someone is executing or performing any devotional service for material gain, or mental speculation or mystic yoga. Those are all adulterated, and that's what Prabhupada is mentioning here. And here he means mentioning that when someone is on the state of like bodily conception, and bodily conceptions, and they are doing the devotional service for the fruitive activities, then Prabhupada is saying that is karma yoga. And then when someone is in the, they're thinking themselves as a mind, one step just ahead, coming out of the bodily conception, but thinking as a mind, and they're doing the, they're mainly philosophical speculation. Means philosophical speculation means, oh, Lord can be no feet, no form, or he can be everybody's heart. He is present everywhere, but there is no conception of Lord as a person. So, and that Prabhupada is saying that they are considering themselves as the mind. Those people are in the Jnana Yoga. And those people who are a little beyond than that, they are in mystic, that is, sorry, Jnana, second one was Jnana Yoga, and the last one was Dhyana Yoga. So Prabhupada is mentioning here a devotee, actually he is beyond those, all these mental, number one, mental, and the state of bodily conception, and not doing devotional service for fruitive activities, fruitive materialistic gain, and then not in this considering himself as the mind, and not doing the devotional service through the mental speculation, means not following the taking shelter of pure devotee. Those are like Jnana Yoga. And then those who are doing that for some achievements, some kind of mystic achievements beyond the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, they are Dhyana Yogis. But a devotee, they are not in that stage. They are taking shelter of the pure devotee or self-realized souls, and they are following their path, and they don't have any tinge of achievement or anything. Whatever they are doing under the regulatory principles, and they are following a self-realized soul. And that, in that case, they are completely on the spiritual platform. And Prabhupada is saying that that stage we cannot imitate that stage. So that stage, Prabhupada is saying that through the regulative principles, we can get into that stage. And then we can develop pure love for Krishna. And in last line, Prabhupada is saying that through the regulative principles, we can go to the up to the Vaikuntha planet, but for spontaneous, pure loving service found in Krishnaloka. So I just want to share His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj's one lecture, and I think I mentioned before also. Maharaj, first of all, we cannot take a specific verse like that, like previously we did like verse number 17 or 18. We cannot take like just one verse and then follow like that. That's not, because we have to follow see the whole context. So Maharaj was saying that if we do the regulative principles and we follow the self-realized soul's path, then we can go to the Vaikuntha planet. But Mahāprabhu came with a special program. He came with a special program. And as Prabhupada was mentioning, that to get that kind of love of Godhead, we need to follow someone. Like, just example, if you want to love Krishna like a parental love, like your son, then you have to follow Mother Yashoda or Nanda Maharaj. They are the guru in that area. Or if you have to follow like as a servant, then we have to follow the Raktak, Patragadi. Or if you want to follow the friend, then we have to follow the Shubal, Gori, Shudham, Siddham. We have to follow their path. And so Maharaj is saying that Mahaprabhu's special mercy is he brought this Harinam Sankirtan, and because he is the Radharani, he is the main, he came with Radharani's bhav. So only if we follow Mahaprabhu and follow his path, then only we can go to the Krishnaloka. So that was Maharaj was saying that. So I just wanted to share. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you. Please add or correct.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. The Supreme Lord is giving the formula how to conquer the Lord. Mora putra, mora sakha, mora pranapati, bhave, jai more kare shuddha bhakti. By rendering pure devotional service, especially thinking him as putra, child, sakha, friend, pranapati, my life and soul. Apane bada mane. Apana ke bade mane amara sama hina. Sama is same. That means the Lord is thinking the one who thinks me as same or equal, like a friend, or hina. Hina means lower than him. Not like fallen or like lower, like a child is lower than the parent. And he thinks himself as a bigger, like a responsible person. So Krishna likes that more to become. And those are higher rasas, we know that. But of course, we cannot artificially imitate. We have discussed that point again and again. Say bhave he ami tahara adhina. Then I will become subordinate to that person. I will not become subordinate, Krishna is telling, to one who always says, Lord, you are great, I am fallen. You give me this, you are my everything. So this is the internal mood of the Lord. But we have to nicely balance it. And how we get there is by flawless execution of bhakti, pure bhakti. And we will read that. It's not that Amrish Maharaj, which we will see, and in the Amrish Maharaj story, which Gauranga Darshan Prabhu briefly shared, which is going to come very soon in the 9th canto, the Lord said that actually I am Bhakta Paradhina. Now it's not that Amrish Maharaj was considering the Lord as his friend or Lord as his lover or Lord as his Sakha, but he was rendering Shuddha Bhakti. That is the point. Prabhupada is using a word, attracted devotees. Those who render Shuddha Bhakti, devoid of any Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shiranam bhakti uttamam, topmost bhakti. freedom from any false desire or any hidden agendas. Like anukul, not pratikul, not unfavorable bhakti, not remembering Krishna as Kamsa, but remembering Krishna as Yashoda. That's favorable bhakti. So, any other comments, thoughts? Very, very important, nice verses here. Okay, so